Hey, what's up? Episode 187. All right. On 187 on an undercover cop. 187. It's a rap reference. I make old rap references. I think 187 is a murder. It's a murder episode. I should look that up. That's how I feel. What is 187? Google. What is 187? We'll say on an undercover cop. There it is. Yeah. 187 on an undercover cop is a phrase from the song Deep Cover. It's from other things too. That refers to the murder of an undercover police officer. We're not doing that. All right. I'm just sad. I'm not in 187 California Penal Code section for murder territory. I'm just not happy. Just being unhappy doesn't mean we have to go 187. Certainly not on an undercover cop. I have so much respect for cops, especially the undercover ones. 187 is the crime of murder, according to Wikipedia, but it is the source of all things true. Isn't that right, Tom Shoe? Where's Tom Shoe? Is Tom Shoe here today? Or has it been 17 years? The number is commonly pronounced by reading the digits separately as 187 or 187 rather than 187. The number 187 has been used by gangs throughout the U.S. and elsewhere as a synonym for murder. This usage has been documented in Florida, Wisconsin, the UK, Germany, and Norway. It also features widely in hip-hop culture, such as Dre's Deep Cover or YNW Melly's Murder on My Mind. Murder on My Mind. I don't know that song. 187 on an undercover cop it's not from that song. I don't know. I'm just not pleased with how the football game turned out last night. All right, we're going to do a full show today. A real full show today. I have so much stuff written down that I'm not going to do. The show was built around the Bills not getting smoked by the Falcons last night. Like that, the plan was to have a happy show. But also, I'll start with this. What is the best record an NFL team is going to have this year? Just like off the top of your head, what do you think the best record will be for a good, really, really, really good, like the Super Bowl winning football team will have what record? What regular season record will the Super Bowl champion have this year? And, that could be anybody. The Titans. Let's say the Titans are going to win the Super Bowl. They're not, but let's just say, what will their record be when they win it? I should just open up NFL standings and start talking through that, because this is what I have to do. This is for me. I'm unhappy with how last night went, but I also get it, and I'm okay. And I'm going to do a show today about it. I don't have a Bills person on. I've got Scott Wilson. Scott's going to come on at 11 o'clock, and we'll talk. I mean, we'll definitely talk about the Bills. We'll talk about the NFL. We'll talk about college football, and then whatever crazy stuff is in Scott's head, we'll do that. But I don't have a specific person to come on to talk about what the hell happened last night. I'll throw this out there for those of you who are ready to start firing coordinators and coaches and making trades and hiring new. I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what you're thinking. It was a loss. It was an unexpected loss, I think, for a lot of people. It kind of fits into the story of the Bills winning the Super Bowl this year. It fits. Remember week 6, whatever it is, 6, is that right? Remember week 6 when they went on the road and lost on Monday Night Football? Even though the game started too early, that was wrong. They shouldn't have done that. What was that? Like there are 2 Monday night games next week. One's at 7 something, one's at 10 something. What are we doing with one at 7 something, one at 8 something? By the time I even tried to put on the other game, it was over. So what are we doing, America, NFL? What are we doing with 2 games when one's at 7 and one's at 8? I know there are minutes involved too, but for real, like there was a 7 o'clock-ish game, and then there was an 8 o'clock-ish game, which was played in either Washington or Chicago. Washington, D.C. or Chicago. Like, there's no point in that. If we're doing a 7 o'clock game in New York or Atlanta or Tampa or Charlotte or Boston or whatever, and then another one in Denver or L.A. or Seattle, that makes sense. There's 2 NFL games on the same night. Like, my buddy in Albany, near Albany, didn't get to watch the Bills game. He's a Bills fan. He's all excited and didn't get to watch the game because it was on. He doesn't have cable. It's not because he has no money. It's because he's smart. He didn't have cable and didn't know until 10 seconds before the game that he didn't get to watch it. What are you doing? What are we doing? TV-wise. There's so much going on with, like, Netflix has games and, well, maybe they don't. But Prime has games. Amazon Prime, that's a whole different thing. That's Thursday. My dad asked me last night, like, what do I do on Thursdays? I don't know how to watch football on Thursdays. What are we doing to mainstream America with these games? And what are we doing putting on 2 games an hour apart to the point where, and this is so weird. I have, what was the game on last night? ESPN. I have YouTube TV, so I had it on ESPN. When I went to turn the game on, it said I could choose, and this is fairly normal. I told my dad, don't worry about Prime. Like, maybe you just can't watch football on Thursdays, Dad. Maybe you just can't. But if the Bills ever play on Thursday, it'll be on, like, a regular channel 2. By 2, I meant also, because I'm about to say 2, meaning TWO and the number 2. It's fine, Dad. You just can't watch some of those games because they did something. They used to allow Amazon Prime to be in 2 households. Now they don't allow that because I had, for the last, 10 years, I've had Prime. And my secondary address is my childhood address, which is my parents' house. So I was like, yeah, Dad, here you go. Just hit this button on this thing, on this Roku that I attached to your TV. Just do this, and then you can watch things on Thursdays. You can't do that anymore. But I told him if the Bills play on a Thursday, it'll be on a regular channel also. Last night, when I went to turn on the game, because I have YouTube TV, and we were 3 minutes late for the start of the game. 2 minutes, a minute, we were almost there. It was a concern, but we made it. Because we had a friggin' baseball game. We always have baseball games. We had a 5:15 baseball game. We made it home at like 7:20. Pretty good. When I turned the thing on, one of the options was watch it live, watch it from the start, or watch it from what's going on right now. And then it was like, do you want to watch on ESPN or on Channel 2? Like, what? I don't know how that happened, but if you were in Buffalo, if you live in Buffalo or, Western New York and don't have any cable system, they put the game on. But ABC and ESPN are related. They're friends. The Bills game, the early Monday night game, was on ESPN. The later Monday night game, the regular timed ESPN game, Monday night game, was on ABC. ABC, ESPN, Disney, I get that. That's a good relationship. I get how that's tied together. But if you don't have ESPN, the Bills game was on Channel 2, which is NBC, which is not related. I don't know how that worked. It's just another sign that, the world is out to get you, out to get us. If we're not in the club, we're screwed. And, there's a happy relationship somehow between two Disney-owned networks showing games, and then they're like, oh, if you don't have this, we'll just put it on NBC. That's fine. We don't care. That's weird, right? I mean, it's only weird to people like me that care about media and stuff like this. That was weird. All right. I'm sorry that I haven't talked about the football game yet. I will. Here's what I have written down for the first segment of today's show. I'm going to do neither. Well, I'll do one of them. One of them says, use AI voice to read texts and tweets so I can argue with them. I did go to a store or something last night right after the game. And so I heard some of the post-game show on the radio. I'm so glad I don't do that. I mean, this is a post-game show. I know that. But it's not the same thing. I don't have to do what people have to do when they're obligated to talk about the game that just happened right after it happened. I don't miss that. I would say I was probably not very good at that when I did that professionally. I think I was good at it. I think I was good. But I wasn't what every other post-game show has ever been, because you have to be incredibly reactionary. You don't have to. But that's what every post-game show on every network, on every local radio station, on every whatever, is hosted by a person who I think is worse at it than I am. Because there's a craziness involved when the team loses. I've referred often to 1990, I think it's 98, when I drove down to Philadelphia to watch the Sabres and the Flyers play in an elimination playoff game. And the Sabres won. I think it was game 5. They won. Michael Grosek scored off the goalpost. Then he got the rebound and put it in. And the entire, whatever it was called at the time, arena just went silent. And I'm way up at the top, and I could hear the Sabres on the ice screaming, yelling stuff. You could hear the words they were saying. And it was unbelievable, because Philly is a very annoyingly loud town full of fans. The only person we like from the Philly area is John Fuller, who's our senior Philly correspondent. He's cool. The rest of the people in that entire region are terrible people. They're horrible. And they went silent because the Sabres scored, and it was awesome. And then I spent the entire night. I went back. I was in a hotel by myself. Just it's 98, so I was what 24 years old, 23 or 4, 23. I'm 23 years old. I'm in Philadelphia in a hotel room by myself, and all I did was first take off my pants because I'm in a hotel room by myself. So what am I doing with pants? And then I just listened to the radio, and it was nothing but misery. And in my mind, I laughed at it. But I think that's where we are. I did not turn on WGR today. I trust Jeremy White. I trust Joe DiBiase less than Jer, but I trust him. I don't trust the people who call in. There's just a phone number. There's a public phone number that lets any asshole call in. And I didn't listen because I don't want to hear that. And the easiest thing in the world is to host a show right now where we take phone calls from people who watch the game. That's so easy. They're just morons. Just morons. That's it. About how the world is ending and the sky is falling because the Bills are a lowly 4-2. 4-2. What would you like your record to be? Any world, any league, any sport, after 6 games, I tell you your record is 4-2. How do you feel? You're like, good. Before the season starts, I say you've got 6 games, and we'll talk after 6. What's your record? It's 4-2. Like, that sounds great. 4-2 is great. What do you want? On the road to winning a Super Bowl, which is the plan for this year, what do you want? I don't know. Like 4-2 is the answer. There are problems like baked into 6-0 or 5-1. There are problems baked in. I'm not telling you I'm glad the Bills lost to the friggin' Falcons last night. I'm not telling you I'm happy with it. I'm just telling you that nothing we talk about regarding that football team will matter until January. Because they're going to be on this road, on this trajectory, the whole time. They're 4-2. They're going to be something like 6-2 or 7-3 or 9-2 or 9-4 or something like that. And you're going to watch the standings as the teams fall off and this team rises up. And I know that, like, technically today the Patriots are in first place in the division. That means nothing. They are the only threat in the East. Drake May is a very good quarterback. He's young, but that's real. That's a real thing that we have to deal with and think about. But on October 14th, on episode 187 of Writer Radio, that's fine. That's not really the Bills being behind the Patriots. That's that they lost a game last week to that team, and they both have the same record. And it ain't going to stay that way. There's, what, a 12% chance that the Bills don't win the East? What, let's say 20% chance that the Bills don't win the East. They've got some stuff to figure out. They've got some injuries to deal with. They've got some suspensions. Those guys, the suspended guys are back, right? Right? Hoyt and Ogunjobi that they signed in the offseason to make the D-line way better. Like, we were very excited. I was very excited about that. I think they got the right dudes that haven't, I mean, aside from the steroid problem, the cheating problem, but they're back. They fixed the issue. Those guys are coming back next game. Bills are off next week. Then they play at Carolina. Then the Chiefs are here. I think they have their real team in place for the Chiefs game. I have to sneeze. Oh, no. All right, 2 sneezes. I think I'm all right. If you were watching on YouTube, you saw me sneeze. If you're listening on the MixLR app, you didn't hear it, which is good. Oh, no. Another one. Okay. Tough to deal with here. I'm fine. My point is that 4-2 is a good record. 4-0 into 4-2 sucks. So, just cruising along, rooting. Oh, my God. Hold on. Rooting last week for the Broncos to beat the Eagles because it would allow the Bills to be the only unbeaten team. Was fun, and then that whole thing lasted like 6 hours. But generally speaking, as you watch the world transpire, the NFL world transpire, we're fine. Hey, Buffalo, we're fine. It's okay. This is how it goes. They added a game. It's not even 16 anymore. Now it's 17. So, in previous years, like way back a few years ago, the max wins for the Bills right now would be 14. They can still win 15 NFL games. They're going to be favored to win probably every game they play from here on out. I don't expect them to win every game they play, but they're going to win the vast majority of them, and they're going to win the division, and they're going to be in the playoffs, and they're going to host playoff games, and they're probably going to win the Super Bowl. But that's not a popular thing to say today because the Patriots are in first place. If you open up NFL.com and standings or Yahoo Sports or whatever you do, however you look at standings, the Buffalo News, the paper that came to you today, it says, no, it probably doesn't. It was probably printed paper. That's so stupid. Printing everything on paper. We have a computer now. The Patriots are in first place in the division. And that's the first time in a long time, I think, that they're there, or that anyone but the Bills is there. There was a moment of that with Miami a couple of years ago, wasn't there? Wasn't there like a Miami Dolphins are in first? Look out, Bills. It's late September or early October, and the Dolphins are in first place. Look out for Mike McDaniel and Tua. That was crap. I don't think the Patriots are crap. I think that's real. That's Drake May, I think, is real. And Vrabel as the coach, I think, is real. And we know Kraft as an owner is real. Like, that's a real thing. It's a threat. But I think we're all right. A lot of injuries. Players that didn't play last night, and then players that got knocked out last night. And I haven't looked up any of the updates. They wouldn't be very legitimate anyway. You're not going to get much of an injury update right now on the day after a game, before a bye. They don't play again for 13 days or something, so it's like, they're not going to tell you the truth. The team is going to be healthier. I assume. I mean, I didn't watch any of the post-game stuff either. I probably should have looked this up before doing a show. It looked like Josh hurt his left hand or wrist. It seemed like he was not quite himself by the end. They were still right there. I mean, if that final pass doesn't get tipped to the line. You know what I would like? I would like a Bills reporter to tell me what is the explanation for the pressure that Josh was facing yesterday that he hasn't faced all year, and whether or not that's a formula to beat the Bills moving forward. Because I can write off the Patriots loss. And I can write off this loss too, because they're right there. I mean, they took the ball away on the first play of the game, and then it was like, nah, Russo's offside. How different is that game? They took the ball. The guy that ran for 170 at last check and destroyed them, Bijan Robinson, fumbled on the first play of the game, and the Bills got the ball. And then the Bills didn't get to keep the ball, and then we just got to write that play off. Like, that's how the game started. The game started. The Bills went on the road on Monday Night Football and took the ball away from one of the more dynamic players in the league immediately, and then it didn't count because of an offside. I got home almost in time for the start of the game, but I walked into the family room of my house and saw the Bills not getting the ball back. I never saw the play. I don't know what happened. I saw the fumble, but I didn't see the start of the play where Russo was called for being offside. Lining up in the neutral zone, maybe. I don't even know. But how different is the game if the thing that happened on the first play stands? Which is this guy who destroyed the Bills fumbles the ball away to the Bills, and they would have had the ball at, the 15-yard line or something? 20? 25 even? I don't know. I watched the game in real time, missed the first one play. Well, kickoff and then that play. Walked in during that replay and went, oh, that sucks. That's probably a bad omen for what's going to happen tonight. The Bills took the ball away, and then they're like, no, you didn't. That's bad. But in reality, 4-2 is good. The Patriots are surprisingly 4-2. And if you look at the standings right now, they're ahead of the Bills, and that is not my favorite thing. But they're getting everybody back. They're off for a week. I think everything's fine. I really do. And so, if you came to me and this show to be the place where we act like the house is burning, this is not the place. I don't think everything's perfect. I'm not mad at the Bills for not bringing in more receivers. I mean, the first play from scrimmage, my boy Palmer, who I think is a perfect addition to the Bills, makes a great catch. Long play. It was like a 45-yard pass or something. I don't know. I haven't looked at anything. I haven't looked at any box scores, no stats, no nothing. But it was a first play from scrimmage. Oh, look, Josh threw deep to Josh Palmer. And it's caught. And it's awesome. And then there was another play very shortly after that where his knee or ankle or something got banged up. And so he didn't play anymore. And that's bad. I don't like that. But I think they're fine at that position. I would imagine. I haven't consumed any media outside of the game that happened. But I would imagine that if you're freaking out about how screwed the Bills are at 4-2 with Josh Allen as quarterback in a division with the Jets and the Dolphins. See how I left out the Pats? Pats are a little scary. I would imagine there's some panic, and I didn't listen to it so that it wouldn't be channeled through me into this show. I didn't plan on the Bills losing that game, but that was not a perfect situation, man. 7:00 Monday night game on the road against every team that plays the Bills. That's their biggest game of the year. The Falcons don't get to play on TV at night very often. That's their biggest game of the year. We're bringing in Superman and his friends are coming to play at our house. Let's get them. And they did. They did it. think that's a part of a season. 2 losses in a row is weird and tough to take. But I don't know. I have written down on my sheet, I may have said this at the start of the show. I wrote it down to start the show with, and I didn't do it. Use AI voice to read texts and tweets so I can argue with them. Like, I feel like I'm arguing against myths right now. Like things I think people are saying. Straw man. Straw man argument. People talk about that often online. You're arguing against no one. I feel like I'm doing that. And my intention, not even intention, an idea I had was to find like an AI voice thing and just cut and paste tweets I read, texts I got from friends into the thing so that it's not me reading a thing and then saying it's wrong. I was going to play have some computer voice say the things so I could argue with them. And I still might between now and 11. I will not do that after 11 because Scott's coming on. Scott Wilson will be on to talk about what happened last night. We'll talk about the Giants for sure. He's a Giants fan. And we'll talk about the UB Bulls who are getting set to take on UMass on Saturday. I have to go to Amherst, Massachusetts this weekend for that game. I might run into my friend Mike O'Brien. Mike came on last week to talk about the Patriots. When the Patriots beat the Bills, I'm like, you know what we could use is a comedian who loves the Pats and is my friend. And we brought him on, and I was texting with him today. I had a text when I woke up this morning. I had a text that it said like photo or picture or something. I'm like, well, I know what this is from Mike. For sure, it's going to be a picture of the AFC East standings that will show the Patriots ahead of the Bills because the Pats beat the Bills. They have the same record. It's fine. As the season progresses, the Bills get to keep playing. And the Patriots also have to keep playing. So they'll separate themselves from the stupid Patriots. But I thought it would be good to have Mike on, and Mike can't come on because he does duck boat tours. It's his real job. He rides around in duck boats, which are buses that can go in water, which is pretty impressive. We could do a whole show just about how cool duck boats are, but he's a Boston guy. He hosts duck boat tours. That did not prevent him from talking trash via text over the course of the morning prior to the show. But he can't come on the show. But we'll get him on soon. Whenever he can do it, we'll do it. We need him on more. He's funny. I like him. I don't like the Patriots. I don't like Boston in general. Just kind of a bunch of jerks. But Mike is cool. He just can't come on. But first place Patriots is a tough pill to swallow for everyone in Western New York. Good news. The standings don't matter. Power rankings don't matter. None of the stuff on paper or online matters. Bills are fine. They're going to the playoffs. They're going to win the division, despite the Patriots being ahead of them right now. It's a fun, cute thing to talk about. We used to do this when the Patriots owned the league and therefore owned the AFC East and therefore owned the Buffalo Bills. There were fun times 5, 6, 7 weeks into the season. We're like, look at the Bills and look at the Patriots. Ha ha. It's our year. No, it wasn't. It's not. The point is to win the last game in February, and losing to Atlanta on the road on a weird early Monday Night Football game is not going to be the thing that defines this season for the Bills. It's just not going to. Today it is. Today it's the thing that we have to discuss. But it's not anything. It's a game they lost. The best team in the league this year will probably finish with, 15 wins? 14, 13 wins? The Bills are still on track for any of those numbers. They're going to lose 2 games or 3 games or 4 games or 5 games or 6 games. The Super Bowl champion will lose somewhere between 2 and 6, I'll guess, regular season games this year. So the Bills are at 2 right now. Look, I didn't like it any more than you did. I didn't enjoy that game any more than you did. But they were horrible in the first half, and they were right there the entire time. They were just hanging out the whole time. And it was a winnable game. The Bills probably shouldn't have beaten the Ravens. And maybe like all of my mentality is based around the fact that they did. And then it felt like, oh yeah, they were going to win that the whole time. That was a tough one. They came through. They got that win. Awesome. That puts me in a spot where I can accept a loss to the stupid Falcons on a Monday Night Football game in Week 6. I will say this about them. They have star players that I have heard about and read about and never seen before. I've never seen Bijan Robinson play a football game. I don't think. Maybe at Texas. But definitely not with the Falcons. Drake London, I'm wholly unaware of, aside from the fact that he gets drafted in fantasy football every year. And Penix I've seen, and I like him. I was very impressed with him in college. In the bowl game, his last college football game, I was like, that's a real dude. It looks a little crazy, but I'm a Josh Allen fan. Like, I'm in Buffalo. I recognize that you can look a little different and kind of kill it. And so I had respect for him going in. I have more respect for him coming out of the game. So I think they have a quarterback and a running back and a wide receiver. And also a tight end that I can't believe, nobody can believe really, that Kyle Pitts hasn't become a star yet in the league. But you watch him for a play or two, you're like, look at this guy. So they had a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, and a tight end on their offense, while things weren't going super well for the Bills. Pretty good. That said, the Bills made Bijan Robinson fumble on the first play of the game and recovered, and were about to have a super short field to take the lead immediately. And it was called back on a penalty. An offside penalty by Russo. How different is that game? If exactly what you saw happened, except somebody wasn't standing in the wrong place right before it happened. I mean, I would have to go back and watch the play to see if Greg Russo being mildly offside had any impact on that ball coming out, but I don't think it did. So let's just subtract that mentally. I'm not trying to take the win away from the Falcons and give it to the Bills. But as we're hanging out and panicking, let's think about that game if the first play of the friggin' game counted. I seriously, I walked in, so we were coming back from we had a baseball game last night. We always have a baseball game. They made it 5:15. They cut it off at 5 innings instead of 6. We got in the car. We drove home. And we made it back in time to where I walked into the house and saw the play being called back because of a penalty. But when I walked in to the start of the game, the first thing that happened in the game, Bills on the road, Monday Night Football at Atlanta. They had just forced a fumble, recovered it, and were about to have the ball at the, let's say, 20. Atlanta has 20. They don't lose that game if they just have that ball, which they caused to happen. They got it. They had it. And it's a different Monday if that play stands, but it didn't. And they lose, and they're 4-2. And the Patriots are ahead of them, and I don't care. I don't care. I'm talking for 46 minutes just to say it's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Keep wearing your shirts. Keep flying your flags outside your houses and on your cars and wearing Zubas to church and whatever you people are doing. Just keep doing it. It's fine. I'll take a week off. We're going to get some people back. The suspended guys, the free agent acquisitions that haven't played at all because they were cheating. But Hoyt, Ogunjobi, like, what's wrong with the D line? I don't know. The guys they signed aren't here. That's part of it. What's wrong with the defense? I don't know. 4 of the 11 players are the guys you would have started on purpose. I mean, that's part of it. It's really part of it. I need this team healthy. Bosa's still healthy. That's something. I haven't looked. Is he still healthy? He was as of yesterday. I mean, deflected passes going into people. So many stupid things happened in that game last night. And you lose. I mean, that's part of it. That's part of football. I'm glad it's not a playoff game, because a playoff game, you lose like that, you're eliminated, and I can apologize for things that happen, and it doesn't work because the team is done. They've got 2 losses. Their projected record right now, in my mind, is like 14-3. We have 17 games. They're going to be a 14-3 or 13-4 team. Okay, 12 they lose 3 more times. They can lose 3 more times and still be 12-5. Guess who's going to be in first place in the East with 12-5? Yeah, your boys. Guess what 12-5 team will enter the playoffs with the best player in the league at quarterback? Yeah, that's your guys. So all of it's all right, but it's frustrating, and I get it. I get the frustration. I get the anger that I'm sure exists throughout Western New York about, Bobby Babich needs to be fired and McDermott needs to be fired and this is terrible and this is never going to work. This is not the Sabres. Don't mix up your Sabres fandom with your Bills fandom. They got a real thing going on with the Bills. I don't know what is happening with the Sabres. Scored 2 goals in 3 games. They're 0-3 and they suck. Again, still. But we're fine. It's okay. We'll see what happens when Scott Wilson comes on in a few minutes. He might blow up everything that I've been saying for the last 49. I've just been talking for 49 minutes. And I didn't do the thing that I wrote down. The whole point last night, I wrote this down. Use AI voice to read texts and tweets so I can argue with them. I decided not to do that and just kind of flew. Like that was the plan for the first hour of the show. Like, oh, here's what so-and-so said, and play it, and then I would talk about that. But I didn't. This is the best team we've had I'm 50 years old. This year is the most likely season in my lifetime that the Bills will win the Super Bowl. It's because they have the best player in the league. And you can lose games on the way there. You can't lose in January, and you can't lose in February. You can lose on October 13th on the road right before your bye in a non-conference game. You can do that. You can lose that game. And, losing to the Patriots last week sucked, but all that really does is makes things a little more interesting. I mean, did you want to go undefeated? Did you think that this was the team that did that? Because I didn't think that it was going to be that. I think they're the favorite every time. I think every week I expect them to win. And having 2 losses in a row feels weird to us, to me, to you probably. But all right. It's Writer Radio. Scott Wilson will join me just after 11 o'clock. Play a couple songs. Be right back. Stick with me.
Let's check in with Writer Radio's senior football correspondent, Scott Wilson.
Are you there, senior football correspondent Scott Wilson? Are you there?
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, hell yeah. What's up?
Yeah, what's up?
How are you?
Well, as you guys, as Bills fans, last night, you guys kind of lived through what it's been like for quite some time as a Giants fan.
Yeah, but ours is only for a day.
Right. No, I know. Believe me, I know.
That's different.
Yeah, it's different.
Different. You know what, though? I don't think people remember that. I don't think people in Western New York remember how bad it was, and that, like, this being a problem is not really a problem. It's 2 losses in a row. I haven't looked back to see how long it's been for that, but I mean, that's really all it is. It was not a great night, and there are a lot of things to clean up and a lot of issues. And, the first play of the game, you take the ball away and then they give it back. And, how different is the night if the Bills just get the ball after they force a fumble on a guy who eventually runs for 170 yards?
Yeah, could be very different. The Patriots game felt like a different loss. It felt like the Bills really gave that one away with the penalties and with the turnovers. This did not feel like that.
No, they got beat. They got beat last night for real.
They got beat last night for real. The Falcons, I don't think you can say it's shocking what they did to the Bills on the ground. In fact, it should have been way worse. If I'm a Falcons fan this morning, yes, I'm excited that they won, but I can't take my team seriously after the way they called plays in the second half.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Because this is what I had written down to start the show was use AI voice to read texts and tweets so I can argue with them. And I wouldn't have argued with yours, but I don't know. This is how I live. I get a lot of text messages during football games. The only ones I actually like are from you. So I'll say this out loud. If you're not Scott Wilson, don't text me with your thoughts during the game. The only, for real, no, the only person whose thoughts I care about, because I'm sitting around, I've got a 45-year-old woman, and then, Zach doesn't watch the games. When I'm watching the game, I'm trying to listen to what, it wasn't Tirico, but generally,
Fowler.
I'm listening to Chris Fowler and Orlovsky and Louis Riddick, or it might be Tony Romo, or it might be whoever it is. It might be Tirico and Collinsworth. I want to hear what they say because they're very good at watching football. No matter what you think of these announcers, all of them are very good at watching football. You know who else is good at watching football? Me. You know who else? Scott. Those are the people I want to hear from. Analyst, real analyst, not my wife, not my 11-year-old, not my 9-year-old. So I want texts. The texts from you are what keep me sane during a football game.
Okay.
Especially when the Bills are getting beat, because the things you're saying are correct and they lack emotion. You're direct. You are smart. You are intelligent. You're a football analyst. I am, on some level, a football analyst. Dude, I cannot take watching a loss with my wife. I can't take it. It sucks.
Yeah, that's rough.
It sucks. So I'm texting with you during games while she's over there saying things that are nonsensical. So part of my plan for the show, I didn't end up doing it, but part of the plan for the show was like, let's just take the texts from Scott and then also like tweets I saw and turn them into a robot voice, and then I'll talk to those things as if it's a call-in show for the first hour before you came on. And I didn't do it. I don't remember. I don't know how to wrap this up, but what I'm saying is I enjoy your texts during football because for the last, 15 years, me watching football, like you're the voice, like we have a conversation during football, and that's how football makes sense to me, is talking with you. So your texts mean something to me during Bills games. That's all.
Thank you.
That's how I'll wrap
you.
it up. Yeah.
Well, I'll just spin through what I can remember texting you last night, which was starting with the Atlanta Falcons, and this is an epidemic across football at all levels. If you can run the ball for 7.5 yards a clip, don't stop until the other team stops you.
Yeah.
Every time that the Falcons dropped back to pass, it felt like such a win. And that includes the Bills not even covering Drake London for most of the game.
Yeah, they couldn't cover him. They had no answer there.
It felt like such a win. Like, oh my God, I can't believe they're passing when they're running at will on the Bills. And it's
7
the
yards.
reason why the Dolphins never beat them.
You hand off the ball at 7 yards. So why would you not just keep handing off the ball?
Right. It's across. I get every now and then you want to throw in maybe a play action. Fine.
Well, because you've seen Army play football. I mean, I don't know. I feel like everyone should watch Army play football. Everyone should. Every offensive coordinator should watch a bunch of Army football and see how it works, where we run and it works, and we run and it works, and we run and it works. And then when we throw, that's crazy, and it works. And then we run, and then we run, and then we run, then we run, then we throw and it's crazy and it works. And then we run. Like, I don't know. We have processed that for 15 years.
I'm normally a balanced guy. I get it.
No, you're not.
I get it.
No, you're not.
But
you are
when
not. You're lying.
Okay.
You're a run guy.
I do tend to like running.
You're a run
guy.
guy. You're totally
a run guy.
Yeah.
But I understand it. And if you're running and it's not working, I understand trying something else.
Yep.
But when you're running, it's working as well as it was last night. My God, they kept the Bills in the game. They kept the Bills in the game by just not handing the ball off. Like, it gets to the end of the game, they're like, look at the numbers from Bijan Robinson, 170 yards and 19 carries. And the first thing out of my mouth was, that should be 30, and he should have 300.
300 yards. Yeah.
Right. Like, what are we talking about? The game should have been over at 9:30 because they should have just been running the whole second half. It just it makes me crazy no matter what team it is.
Now let's flip it around and look at the Bills, which I will say I'm very impressed with how they came out in the second half, because London being out of bounds right before halftime.
That was a big one.
That was massive. But now it's 21-7, and the Bills have the ball, and this is the thing. Like, you're the person I can talk about football with. Right. This is our thing.
This is our plan. This is our thing. We should get T-shirts made that say touchdown, stop, touchdown.
Score, stop, score. Right. And we were right there. And the Bills, I'm proud of them. I'm proud of Joe Brady. They came out in the second half and were like, this is not anything at all. And they started running the ball. Because as much as, Josh Allen might be the best football player I've ever seen, but running the ball really helps Josh Allen be Josh Allen. So Cook is a good option. He's a very good option. And they came out and they're like,
he's the best option.
Let's go with Cook. And that first drive, they just went Cook, 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 and then, oh, not Cook, pass, you're dead. Perfect, just perfect. But it was about running the friggin' ball, and they did that with him, because in the first half, I don't know, it was all jumbled, and turnovers are killing the Bills in the last couple of weeks, and it'll be fine. But when they had, 20 minutes to think about it and talk about it. Like, what we should do? And then they came out and they did what they should do. And it was awesome. Like, getting out there and making Cook the focal point to I think the plan should be, if you're Joe Brady, the plan should be make teams think that James Cook is the problem that they have to deal with. And the second that they are thinking about him, then you give them the real problem, which is Josh. And they did that to start the second half. And I was very happy with that. And I was thinking of you during, I don't know if we texted about it, but I for sure was thinking, like, this is how Scott and I would call a game.
Yeah. And then you get to the fourth quarter and James Cook doesn't touch the ball again in the final 12 minutes of the game.
Well, that's stupid.
And right. And I don't think that I think that those there's a correlation there.
Well, there was never more than a 7-point separation after that first drive of the second half, which means we're still just playing football. Like, you should just be doing what you do and what you are good at. And what we're good at, we as the Bills, because I'm on the team, is Cook first, Josh second, and then everything's perfect.
Yeah, it was a confusing day. I remember also texting you, number 27 again.
You're
noticeable.
You're more against Trey White than I am. I mean, we're just in a spot where he's got to play. I mean, what?
Right, that's my problem. Is he can't be every down, and they're in a spot where he's got to play every down, and it's hurting them throughout the game. It's another third down pass interference call. It's another play where that pass down on the wheel route to Bijan is because he's just not paying attention, and he's squeezing into the middle of the field. The commentators even mentioned it, like, you're a veteran. You can't just be taking your eyes and just running to the middle of the field like that. And he did, and it's just he's slower and
hold on. I want to interrupt you. Because I want to like Trey White, and I think you want to like Trey White.
Like Trey White.
Yeah,
I like
you
him
do.
as a person.
Me too. When you said he's just not paying attention, that's like the most insulting thing you can say. And
I know that's oversimplifying it.
Well, I don't. No. I'm not arguing. I'm saying, holy crap! Am I overestimating him? And like, I don't know. I think what you're saying might be right. I'm not arguing. I just, like, you say that, and that's the worst thing you can say. He's not paying attention. But I watched that play, and I'm trying to analyze it and figure out what I just saw. But he goes with whoever it was that, like, was like on a post route at the exact same time, and he just went with him for just a second. But that second is what allows Bijan to be open on the sideline. Like, I don't know. Like, I think you might be right, and you're saying it more harshly than I would say it. But I think you're bringing me around to, holy crap. Like you said, he's not paying attention. He's paying attention. He's trying. I'm sure he's trying. But
he's trying. But it wasn't good.
No, it was terrible. It was terrible. And the way that you said it actually helped me understand it more. So this is why you're the best football analyst in America.
That's right. You know what? Can we move on to some other fun things? The Bills lost. They get a bye week. They get to heal up.
Yeah, they lost. It's fine. 4-2 is fine. I don't like the Patriots being ahead of them in the standings, but I can also just not look at those. Who cares? So, yeah, what else?
I'll stick with my NFL note here, and Barstool pointed it out as well. Coaches wearing capri pants this year are 1-11 in the NFL.
Good.
That's the Jets and the Dolphins. And if I'm an owner,
the Jets coach?
Their former DB. Was
Aaron Glenn?
Defensive Aaron Glenn. Yeah.
When I hear capri pants, I think of my wife and Mike McDaniel. So, like, capri pants, that I assume is McDaniel or my wife.
Right. And I just think if I'm an owner and I see that, I have to fire my coach no matter what happens. It's got to go. Like, I never saw Bill Parcells in culottes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what are we talking about?
We have seen
This is you shouldn't be in
Belichick
sweatpants as a coach on the sideline anyway.
Belichick.
Okay,
Belichick said,
check out North Carolina. How's he doing?
not well.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's got the cut off sweat.
but I'm talking
What's
pants.
cut up? Yeah, no, I get it. I'm with
Pants
you.
matter.
Look, dude, I'll spend an hour talking to you about this exactly, the fashion stuff. I'm not a fashion guy, but capri pants are terrible, and then I do not understand the concept of a sweatshirt with the sleeves cut off. That makes no sense. Like, even as a fat guy who thinks the best weather is 64 degrees, sweatshirt and shorts. Like, I get all of that. I do not get hoodie sweatshirt with sleeves cut off. Makes no goddamn sense in the world. And pants that end at the calf make no sense.
Yeah, wear shorts, wear pants. Pick one. It's America.
Pick something. Yeah, USA.
Yeah.
Let's
pick
go.
a side. Let's go college football.
All right.
The last three major firings now
Say
in the
Penn
Big
State.
Ten.
Say Penn State. Say Penn State.
They have all been on the backs of Northwestern beating them. And,
Wait, what?
We're right there again.
Hold on. Say it again.
Northwestern seems to be like the Grim Reaper in the Big Ten. If you lose to Northwestern and you're a bigger name coach, you are fired.
Wow.
Within a week.
I didn't know this. All right.
Yeah. So James Franklin fired.
Your boy.
15 I like him. 15 days
ago.
ago.
So nice to you.
He was.
I love that guy.
15 days ago.
All right.
15 days ago, top 5 team in overtime, one play away from possibly becoming number 1 or number 2 in the country over Oregon. 15 days later, fired. He's now going to get paid $20,000 a day for the next 6 years to not coach, which goes along with the theory of the best job in America to have, bar none, is fired college football coach.
Former coach. Holy crap. 20 grand a day to not coach?
Yeah. Now, I read that there is a statement in there that he does have to actively look for employment in either like a broadcast form or another coaching job. But here's the thing. If he does find those jobs in that position, Penn State still has to pay the difference up to $8 million. Oh. So if CBS hires him for $100,000 for a season, Penn State still has to pay him $7,900,000. So, it's still all gravy for James Franklin.
All right. Can we talk about your experience with James Franklin? Because that was awesome.
Sure.
I love.
Yeah.
I had a headset on for your experience with James Franklin. If we've brought this up a couple times on the show, but I still like it. We won't have another chance ever probably to talk about this. And I have, for the last 8 years, I have liked James Franklin because of you and James Franklin. So can you talk quickly about that?
We were playing a game in Beaver Stadium. At the time, I was doing sidelines, and before the game, we'd get there, set up all the equipment. Then I would take the wireless mic, go down to the field where I would be during the game, and just kind of walk around. We test it. Sometimes we have to change frequencies. Sometimes, you test batteries and stuff like that. So I am down on the field of Beaver Stadium, walking kind of back and forth on the field, testing the microphone. And out of nowhere,
this is Scott. Scott, I'm up in the booth, and Scott's like, I'm at the 35. I'm at the 40. I'm at the 45.
Right. Can you hear me?
All right. How are we doing?
I'm near midfield.
We're testing stuff, 2 hours before kickoff or something.
Right. And a gentleman comes up to me and says, "Hey, how you doing?" And I turn around. I said, "Good." And he stuck his hand out, and he was wearing Penn State gear. Yeah. And he said, "Just wanted to say," and it's James Franklin. And he says, "Just wanted to say, hey, welcome to Happy Valley. We're glad to have you guys." I said, "Oh, thank you. And then he walked away.
It's little stuff like that, though, that makes you like somebody. I like James Franklin because I had headphones on while that happened. Like, we're testing the microphone, and James Franklin just walks up to you. Plus, he looks like my friend James Keenan. Plus, he looks like Danny Greaves from The Watchmen. Plus, he's the head coach of Penn State. Plus, he's nice to my friend Scott. So I like James Franklin. I root for him. And then
he coming up to me, I think, is the thing that makes it a little bit different.
Yeah.
I also, back in the day, back in the early 2000s, had a brief interaction with Tommy Tuberville when he was head coach at Auburn.
Okay.
And he was walking by. It was early before the game. I was out on the field, and I put my hand out to shake his hand. I said, "Hey, Coach, how you doing?" And he just looked at me and continued to walk by. So probably not a surprise that he is also an asshole senator right now.
Right.
He that's on brand.
Also, I think he's friends with Mike O'Brien, who is being a bitch on the show, texting me about first place Patriots and all that stuff. So I think he's friends with Tuberville.
This is also a good opportunity, since we're talking coaching interactions. I will also say the other major a-hole that I encountered was Bruce Pearl.
Really?
Yeah, and Nick Mandola was there with me.
Plays it off so well. He pretends to be cool the whole time, Bruce Pearl.
Yeah, he's an a-hole. Nick went up to him. We were at Tennessee. He was coaching Tennessee at the time. Day before the Tennessee football game, the Tennessee crew and SID take out the visitors. So we went out to a steakhouse. We were all there. Bruce Pearl ends up at the restaurant waiting for a table. Nick sees him. Nick says, "I'm going to go up and say hi and ask for a picture. Will you go and take my picture with him?" I said, "Absolutely. I'll go up." We go up. He asks for the picture, and he basically tells him to F off.
Wow.
And to get out of here. And
Bruce
I'm not taking.
Bruce Pearl is on my list of dudes I don't know. He's on my list of guys that seem cool.
No, not cool. Was not cool. And also, ironically, he went to Auburn and then recently quit because he may be running for Senate as well.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So the two people that I have had the worst coaching interactions with
are going to be running our country?
Are possibly going to be the two senators from Alabama.
Wow.
So, all right. Again,
horrible.
moving on to other fun things.
Yeah, you had, I would like to say, you had so much stuff prepared for yesterday, and then we didn't do a show yesterday.
Right, and then you chose to disrespect Columbus and Native Americans all in one by not having a live show.
I would say I was honoring.
Maybe you were honoring? Okay.
Honoring both. I was honoring everyone who whatever we're celebrating. I will say it's confusing to me. I didn't see anything that said it was Columbus Day, even though I think of it as Columbus Day. I saw a lot of Indigenous Peoples Day, and I don't care what it is. I just want the kids to go to school. Can we stop with the goddamn holidays? Like my school district, there's like, they're off every Monday, and it's like it's Rosh Hashanah, it's Diwali, like nothing I care about at all. And the kids are just home, and it sucks. And that's why we didn't do a show yesterday. This is the first time I've referenced that we didn't do a show yesterday, but
it's okay. All right, I'll give you that it was an honor. Okay,
it's bullshit. Okay, go ahead.
Did you happen to see the Oklahoma State at home having a tough season? Fired their coach already.
Yeah,
they are at home. They're getting killed by Houston.
Okay,
sparse crowd. One gentleman decides to unite all of Oklahoma State.
Oh, I did see this. Yes. One guy up in the upper deck?
He goes up. Yes, he goes to the upper sections of the first level, and it's just him alone in this section, and he takes his shirt off, and he's swinging it over his head.
Yep.
He gets on the scoreboard. As a result, it becomes a chain reaction of dudes who are at the game saying, "I feel like I got to go be a dude right now." And within, 20 minutes, they take almost every living man in the stadium, and they all migrate. They all migrate to this guy who was alone. Yeah. And by the end, it's almost 3 full sections of guys who now take their shirt off and are swinging it over their head, and it's just becomes a great afternoon. And some of the shots are hilarious. And when they pan out, you can see that Oklahoma State's down 23, but it's just a bunch of dudes being dudes.
Yeah.
Right. And they're just having a great time. And it's one guy just said, I'm going to take my shirt off and stand alone.
Okay.
And then a couple of other guys saying, I refuse to let that man stand alone.
Right.
With his shirt off.
Well, the best. Like,
and it becomes a chain reaction.
The video I saw was that guy, and then that guy and one other guy. And then it was that guy and 40 guys. And then it was that guy and 1,000 guys. And I'm curious. Like, that looked like the upper deck at UB Stadium a lot. Like, what can we do with this? Is the question I'm asking. Like,
well, I think
you can't leave the booth because you're doing the game. But how do we do this? Like, do we have a person? Do we have
we used to have UB Naked Guy.
We had him. My God, he was awesome. We used to have Paul Hutchings. Paul Hutchings, who sponsors the pregame show now, but he's not going to do that.
He's not going to take a shirt off.
But who? No. If I feel like we could get one guy. I think we need like 4 guys. Like, we could do one guy to start. We could do if we get a second guy on the books, like, we're getting him in. Then we kind of need to book the 3rd and 4th guy. But once we're at 4, I think we could get people to do it. I think we could do that. I mean, it's copycat. It's kind of lame, but it's kind of awesome.
Well, it's to me, it is the essence of college football.
It's the best.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that doesn't happen in the NFL. That happens in college football in a 20-point difference where people just decide to have fun. And it's awesome. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun to see. If you get a chance to search it out.
When were you in your prime? When was your prime, Scott? Like, when were you the best version of you? The most
I'm not sure if I've
version
reached it yet.
No. All right.
Probably
no.
college.
I also hope it's still coming for me. But looking back from
in college, I would have done this. Absolutely.
I know. What I'm saying is college is when you're just like, you are positive that you are the smartest person on earth. You're positive that your friends are the best people on earth. Like that. Dude, I'm 26 years into a fantasy football league based on this premise, which is college age is the best age. That's the best age. You're, 18 to 22 or whatever it is. Every idea you have is amazing. I think we can do this. I think we could. UB could be. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
We'll spitball it. We got all weekend.
We do. We've got the bye week. This is what we do with the bye week. I don't know what the Bulls do with the bye week. This is what we do with the bye week. It's possible.
All right. So there's a lot of good follows on Twitter for college football. I'm going to try and enlighten your audience here to one that is under the radar that they might not have seen. That is a great college football.
Can you call it our? Can you call it our audience? Because you're here too.
Well, these are. I've considered these your people. No. These are all. I'm speaking.
They're here for you, dude.
Okay. All right. So it's a little bit of a different follow. It's at TAMU Police.
Oh, geez.
And that is the Twitter following
Texas A&M?
for the Texas A&M Police Department.
Okay,
and this put
sounds
out
fun already. I have no idea what you're about to say, and that sounds awesome already.
It's like a active running live police blotter of what's happening at Texas A&M games when they have home games.
That's amazing. Already amazing. Yeah.
There's a long list of like.
UB Police, not exciting. TAMU Police, yes.
There's a long list of greatest hits, like police notified of intoxicated person in bathroom, responded, person said he's calling his sober friend arrived intoxicated, both arrested. There's a long list, but they had one of the best I've ever
Oh
seen this weekend with the Florida game. And it was police responded to a young man who was sitting down, intoxicated, eating a sandwich with a jug of whiskey. Sobriety test showed 0.337 BAC,
That's dead.
which is near coma.
That's John Bonham.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then it just says released to EMS.
All right, new following right now.
So
Holy shit.
this person is near a coma, just chilling with
that's
what I
dead.
assume is a milk jug of whiskey. And just eating a sandwich, saying, "Yeah, I'm hungry. I gotta have this sandwich real quick."
I just typed in BAC explained. And I'm hoping
0.337 is near is potential coma. It's very dangerous.
in this percentage range, you'll likely have alcohol poisoning, a potentially life-threatening condition, and experience loss of consciousness.
Yeah. Right after the sandwich.
Right. Oh, that's good.
But that's a great follow on home games for Texas A&M. There's a lot of that going on.
I followed them. All right. What else? Anything else?
I'm gonna throw one more thing. Last thing here. I don't know if you saw Game 5 that went to 15 innings against Detroit between the Mariners and the Tigers.
I did not see it, but I'm very aware of it.
Okay. Going into between the 15th inning there, when Seattle is coming up to bat, they have a knockoff of the sausage race that they do in Milwaukee, and it's salmon. They have salmon race because of the fish industry up there, of course.
Okay.
So Seattle
like
already the Mariners already did their race, but it's so far into the game they don't have. I've been in these situations. There's nothing really planned when you get to a 15 inning from an entertainment standpoint. You're kind of making it up on the fly.
Right.
They say we're going to do another race.
8th overtime. Which
Right.
will never happen again.
Never happen again. So they said we're going to do a second race. They had a salmon named Humpy the Salmon, who was 0 for forever, had never won a race.
He's like celery.
And they decided in the 15th inning to let him win the race.
Okay.
Getting his first win. And the Mariners come up to bat and immediately win the game and win the series. And there are several people now, and getting back to the ALCS for the first time since 01, I believe. Or,
yep. 01.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
So there are people in Seattle basically giving the credit saying, we let Humpy win and it broke some type of curse and now we're through. And they're up 2-0.
Yeah.
On the Blue Jays. So they've continued to roll. Humpy the Salmon.
Can I ask you a question? Did you watch the baseball game last night?
I watched the first 3 innings.
Okay. So Blake Snell, who is the ugliest player in baseball until he talks and smiles, and then he's fine. But he looks like the corpse of Tom Green. He went 8 innings. He gave up 1 hit. There must have been a double play or something. He faced 24 batters in 8 innings. And he walked to the dugout and was told by Dave Roberts, you're done. And then they brought in someone, the Japanese guy, Sasaki. I don't remember his name.
Kikuchi, something like that.
Whatever. And then they had to replace him with Blake Trinan, who I love. I love Trinan. Trinan's stuff is sick. But dude pitched 8 innings, probably through. Oh no, I think Scott's gone. Are you there, Scott? No, he's not. All right. He'll probably come back. I'm still going to make the same point, but I think Scott fell off on the phone. Bear with me. Phone. I'll try calling. He's going to call right back. This isn't going to work. Hold on. Is it ringing? I don't hear it ringing. We should hear it. Oh, all right. Sorry. All right, whatever. I'm going to shut that off. I'll still say what I was saying, and then I'm going to leave the thing on the screen on YouTube of Scott Wilson is talking, but he's not. We'll hear him if he calls. I don't like how baseball has gotten to the point where they care so much about numbers that a starting pitcher goes 8 frigging innings, faces the minimum, and they're like, yeah, you're done because you threw 105 pitches or whatever it was. That was horrible. Why would you not just let him keep going? He was pitching one of the best games. They were comparing him to Don Larson. Don Larson pitched a perfect game in 1956, and he was doing the same thing basically, except there was one hit. And I didn't see the hit, but it seemed like it was like one of those crappy infield hits. Like it was a nothing. Maybe it was a real hit. I don't know. But what I do know is that his performance was unbelievable. And we got to take you out now. And they talked to him after the game, and I saw that. It was the last thing I watched before I started watching Kill Tony, which was great, by the way. He was perfect is the wrong word, but he was so close to perfect. Blake Snell was unreal last night. Just perfect. Just great. And they're like, I don't know. Let's put somebody else in. What are we doing in baseball? Where we're taking a guy who's perfect, essentially perfect, not quite perfect, but almost perfect. What are we doing in America where we take a dude who has faced 24 batters in 8 innings? Might have been a double play. I don't know what happened. But he faced the minimum number of batters you can face. And after 8 innings, they're like, nah, you're out. We're going to try this Japanese guy. Why? What are we doing? And I love Dave Roberts, who is the manager of the Dodgers. I love Dave Roberts. But why? Why are we taking that guy out? Everything is great. Yeah, let's switch it. Why? So, and they held on. They were up 2-0. They scored a run. They were up 1-0. The game was so fast. They were up 1-0 going into the 9th. And then they scored a run in the top of the 9th. Dodgers scored a run in the top of the 9th. And I do not get it. They brought in, like, this will seem, what his name is, like Sasaki, whatever. The Japanese closer they have, who's fine. It's fine to put him in. It's fine. Unless Blake Snell has not allowed anything to happen for 8 innings. Why would you take him out? And they asked him after the game, and he's like, yeah, Dave is like, you're done. And I was like, okay. I understand math and analytics being a part of all sports. I get it. Like, that's correct. We should do that. But if your pitcher has faced the minimum number of batters, like he pitched 8 innings and faced 3 batters per inning, leave him in. And like, what's the risk? He's not going to pitch again for 4 days. 3 to 4 days. Oh no, he's at 102. He's at 103. Whatever, he probably ended at 103 or 4 pitches through 8 innings, where only one person got on base, and then we got him out too. Come on, America. We have to get better at this analytics versus reality thing. They survived. They won the game. But that was stupid. That was very stupid. Everything is going perfectly with my pitcher, but I have to take him out because this number, like, we clicked up to 10. I don't know what it is. 104. I haven't looked it up. Like the Bills game. I watched all the stuff, then I went to bed. Now I'm doing a show. I don't read other people's things. Screw them. But in what world do you take out the guy who has gotten every friggin' batter out, except for the one he didn't, but they got probably on a double play or a caught stealing or something happened? I don't know what it is. I just know that he pitched 8 innings, looked great in the 8th inning, and then got pulled. And I want to love you, Dave Roberts, but Jesus, why? Why did that happen? Ugh. All right. BRB. Writer Radio 187 on an undercover cop. This entire show would have been much different had I seen the video I'm seeing right now. Oh my God. All right, I'm going to hit play to see if there's something else, but I think there's not. Whoa! Okay. I did say, I watched the Bills game last night. They lost. And I did say multiple times during the show today, that's about to wrap up, that had the, what is that? Turn that down. What do we got? What's going on? All right. We good? Had the Bills not had a penalty on the first goddamn play of the game, where they stripped the ball from Bijan Robinson and got it and would have had a first down at the 20 or something, the opposing 20. Had that play been different, the world would be different. But we had a baseball game yesterday, little league game thing, little scrimmage going on, and we got home right as the game was starting, and I thought that was pretty good. The game started, it was supposed to be at 6. We switched it to 5:15, and then the game was over at like 6:45, and we were in the car, and we got home, and we my wife texted my oldest son who was home, like, put the game on, like, get it so that when we walk in, it's on TV. Because turning on a TV is not like it used to be, where you just turn it on and channel 2, channel 4, channel 6, whatever it is, 29. It's so we planned for this, and we were almost there. And we walked in as they were saying, God, how did it go? It doesn't matter how it went. The bottom line is Bijan Robinson fumbled, and the play was overturned, or not overturned. It didn't count because of Greg Rousseau being offside. And I thought, sure, he started early, whatever. I had not seen the play. He's not offside at all. He's fine. His hand is on the line that is computer generated. But he's not in the neutral zone. He's just there. And he doesn't leave early. He doesn't move before anyone. Holy crap. The whole show. The show's over. It's 11:57. The show is over. The whole show would have been about that being garbage. Oh my God. I didn't know about this until just now. While a song was playing, while the talking heads were singing, I was watching a video, and I don't know if there's audio. I guess I'll try to play it, but holy crap! There's no audio. No, there's no audio. No, that's the song. That's just the song. Stop.
Running out of pistol as they do quite often.
Nothing. It is based on this offside lining up in the neutral zone thing is based on his hand touching the black line that is not a real thing. It's a black line that is a part of the broadcast. But Greg Rousseau looks like everyone else on this play. That was a fumble and a takeaway for the Bills. They're going to win the Super Bowl. We're fine. Everything's fine. If they stop screwing us, everything's fine. Buffalo. Holy crap. Really? I cannot believe this. I would have lost my mind last night watching this game if I had seen the first play. I literally missed one play from the game. I missed one play from I'm getting texts about how we didn't draft correctly and we didn't do this and this person is right. No. The first play of the game was the guy who ran for 170 and killed the Bills. Fumbling. And it's called off because I don't know why. I don't know what this penalty is. His hand is on the black line, the CG AI line. His hand is on it, but also everyone else's hand is on it. And they're definitely a yard from the line of scrimmage. Everything's fine. This penalty is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in NFL football. 14:55 left in the first quarter. Oh my God. The whole show would have been different had I seen this before now. Shout out to another Andrew, his name is, on Twitter, X, at Andrew W, or at Andrew GAUL. So that's what happened. So I didn't see it. I just assumed, oh, crap, Rousseau jumped, and that's why it happened. But I walked in to my house for the second play and just figured it was a legit penalty. It's not. It's not at all. So in reality, in the real world, your 2025 Buffalo Bills, who are going to win the Super Bowl, lost in major part because the game started, the Bills took the ball away on the first play, but it was negated by a bullshit call because Greg Russo's hand was on a computer-generated line that doesn't really matter in the world. What are we talking about? Wow. All right. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm done. Holy crap. My whole view, the last 2 hours are garbage because I would have only talked about this. So I'll probably do this tomorrow, and it'll be a Tuesday show bitching about the first play of a football game that happened 2 days prior to the show being on. I apologize for who I am, but oh my God, I can't believe this is true. I missed this. That's not a penalty. Trey White's pass interference was not a penalty either. It was nothing. But I didn't know about this one that was the Bills getting the ball. Are you kidding? I would imagine that, like, GR is going to be, how do you fix the Bills all week? GR being WGR, the radio station where I used to work. I would imagine it's going to be about that. Instead, this play goes the way it should be. The Bills win the game. They're 5-1. Everything's friggin' fine. I mean, seriously, the clock, 14:55 in the first quarter. We're 5 seconds into the game. And they annihilated the play that would have just made the game a Bills romp. Holy shit. This is crazy. I can't believe any of this. He didn't jump. His hand was on the line that is computer generated. This is unbelievable. All right, I have to stop. I want to start a new show talking about that friggin' play. Oh my God. I'm gonna stop. Play Fight the Power again? No. I'll pick a new song. Oh my God. Oh. All right. It's not gonna be a new song. It's gonna be something I always. Al Green. We'll play Al Green. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm sorry. What time is it? 12:04. Not bad. All right. See you tomorrow. I'm Brad. It's Writer Radio. Subscribe. That's the big thing. Subscribe. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Spotify, Apple, whatever that is, any of that, just subscribe. That's what I need. Goodbye. Talk to you tomorrow.
What are you doing for lunch?
I don't know. I have a turkey sandwich.
We're gonna go around the corner. I think you should come with us. This is a great place.
I don't know. Okay.
We brought you a shirt.
You get out of here? Will you get out of here? Will you? Now, will you go to lunch? Go to lunch. Will you go to lunch?